Welcome to Leadership Devotionals. And you might be interested to know that Jesus on leadership, He has given us so many principles. And today, we are already on the 11th. Just imagine that. We are on the 11th installment of Jesus on leadership. And we are here on the second part of leading with integrity. In the last episode, leading with integrity, we talk about, leading from your values, from your character. A character that is engaged, that has a relationship, that is in tune with God the Father in heaven. That is leading with integrity, that is leading with authenticity, that is leading with humility. And we have closed our episode of that with a quotation that's so beautiful, and I want to repeat this quotation written by Ellen G. White. It says, "The greatest want of the world is the want of men. Men who will not be bought or sold. Men who in their inmost souls are true and honest. Men who do not fear to call sin by its right name. Men whose conscience is as true to duty as the needle to the pole. Men who will stand for the right, though the heavens fall." Oh, how I wish we are that kind of men. How I wish we are that kind of leaders. And how we wish we are working with this kind of men. Our team members are this kind of men, are this kind of women. And how do we do that? How can we be like that kind of persons? Fellow leaders, this is where leading with integrity, part 2, comes in. Prayer, I repeat, prayer was the medium through which Jesus maintained His relational connection to His Father. And so in order for us to maintain the character, to maintain our integrity, to maintain our authenticity, despite all the temptations, despite all the challenges, despite all the forces and the stresses that are coming into our leadership journey, it is vital that we maintain that relationship between God the Father and us. We maintain that daily, hourly, minute by minute, through a prayerful life. And Jesus has shown this to us because prayer was the medium through which Jesus maintained His relational connection to His Father. This activity is everything and not a pastime for Him. Jesus sometimes prayed through the night in order to access the will and strength of God. And we can see this recorded in Matthew chapter 14 verse 23 or John 17 1 to 25. The prayer life of Jesus demonstrates that the source of power required for the successful promulgation of ministry lies outside of Christian leaders. It is not about us. It is not because of us. It is not, about our skills and about what we bring, the competencies that we bring to the team or the competencies that we bring to the table. It is not about that. There is a force, there is an energy, and there is a power outside of us. And that power can only be summoned through prayer. Prayer to God the Father and building and strengthening that daily relationship with Him. By doing so, we gain access to that source of all truth, to that source of all the moral right, to that source of all transparency and authenticity. We gain access to that by living a prayerful life. The most effective Christian leadership is that which emanates from prayer. Again, the most effective Christian leadership that there can be is the one that emanates from prayer, because it gets to the heart of the integrity in leadership. It gets to the heart of God. It gets to the heart of the truth. It gets to the heart of the source of moral right. The power of leadership is not in technique. It's not in competence. It's not in skills. The power of leadership is in prayer, which is what moves the arms of God and is a critical element in equipping people for service. Yet Christian leaders need people, aside from Christian leaders who are prayerful. Let us also put in our mind that Christian leaders need people who are constantly praying for them too. You know, leadership might be a lonely post. Leadership might entail a lot of sacrifice. Leadership might entail a lot of bearing the burdens of others. And it is not just an easy burden. It is not just an easy call. Sometimes the weight of the burden that you're carrying is somewhat so heavy. And it isolates the leader. It gets the leader lonely. It gets the leader, to question. But one of the most inspiring words that a leader can receive is when someone who is in his team, someone who is there in the front lines, someone who is not even part of his organization, will tell that leader, "Sir, I am praying for you. Sir, you are in our prayers." Oh, that is so beautiful. That's basically music to the ears of leaders, because I can say that because I myself has experienced that. I myself has been needing that for so many times. And it feels so strengthening, so soul nourishing when you know that people are praying for you. Far too often, Christian leaders are the only ones praying within our organization, spending themselves physically and emotionally as they intercede on the behalf of others. Yes, that's because that's your responsibility as a leader. But just as leaders will fail to adequately and appropriately equip people for service if they neglect to pray for them, so too will they fail to lead effectively if they do not have people, if they do not have people around them praying for them. Fellow leaders, let us engage our people to pray, not only for the organization, but also for us. And to you who are listening to this leadership devotional, always remember that your leaders, they took a sacrifice. They took that responsibility to lead. Let us always remember them in our prayers. Let us always mention their names in our prayers. Let us thank God for them. And let us also ask God to inspire them, to empower them, and to shower them with His graces and His blessings. That's the least that we can do to our leaders. Pray for them. Of course, to have people praying for them, leaders will have to humble themselves. They will have to be vulnerable and transparent about areas in their lives in which they are in need. Yes, leaders must also communicate to their people their needs, their struggles, and yes, their problems. And more people can pray for you. Yet it is in the very act of being vulnerable that they can become strong and experience the power of God in their leadership. Brothers and sisters, prayer is the medium that we can access to the throne of the Most High, to the throne of our Father, the source of all integrity, the source of all truth, and the source of all the moral right. And when people are praying for us, yes, it will make us vulnerable, it will make us humble, but together it will strengthen us all and bring us all closer to our Father. And when we are all empowered by the Holy Spirit of our God the Father, I assure you, success will follow you wherever you go. God bless you. Hello, fellow leaders. If you have been blessed with the devotional that you have just heard, don't forget to like, share, or subscribe. Because when you do that, more people, more leaders will be blessed with the same blessing that you have experienced. In YouTube channel, click subscribe to Good Shepherd Consultants. God bless you.